Caesar salad just isn't complete without really good croutons. So here's a recipe on how to make homemade croutons that'll knock your family's socks off. Okay, to make your croutons, just simply cube some bread. You can use a slice of regular bread. You can use crusty bread. If you've got a leftover hot dog bun or hamburger bun, you can use that too. It doesn't really matter. You're going to mince up a clove of garlic, take off a hunk of butter, and then some extra virgin olive oil. So start off by heating your pan. Add the olive oil and the butter to the pan. You're going to heat this to medium-low. You don't want your pan to get too hot, otherwise the croutons will burn. You can break up the butter to make it melt a little faster. Once it's melted, you're going to add your garlic. Let that sit in there for a minute or so at that medium-low heat, and that's going to bring the flavors of the garlic out. Now we're going to add our bread into the butter and oil mixture and very quickly toss the croutons in the butter and oil so they get coated and hopefully evenly coated. If you're fancy, you can toss them like that. I'm not particularly fancy. And now we're just going to let them cook for a little bit until they get a little bit brown on all sides. As you see them get nice and golden brown, just turn them over, flip them over. Use a pair of tongs for this. So it's a little labor intensive, but boy, the end result is so worth it. I'd never buy store-bought croutons ever again now that I make my own. I always add a sprinkle of seasoning salt to the mix. That once again just adds a little more flavor to the croutons. One of the things to consider when you're making your croutons is to use a pan that's large enough so that all the croutons are spread out evenly throughout the pan. Now once they're finished like this, so they're nice and golden brown, just turn the heat off, take the croutons off the heat, and then let them cool. And what I usually do is I put them onto a plate as soon as possible to take them out of the pan and off the heat of the pan so they don't cook anymore. This allows them to cool off a little faster. And if your family's like mine, you'll want to make extra because people will be picking at them as soon as they smell them. They're not going to wait for dinner. And there you go. Homemade croutons, crispy, tasty, yummy.